time with his own family, time to figure things out without feeling pressured. But to Frank, boundaries felt like distance, sometimes even disrespect. He would stew silently. Why doesn't he visit more? Why didn't he call me back yesterday? Why is he pulling away? But Michael explained gently, Dad, I'm not 8 years old anymore. I'm balancing work, marriage, kids, bills, stress. I'm not avoiding you. I'm just overwhelmed. Studies from Harvard's Adult Development Project show that boundaries are a sign of healthy adulthood, not a sign of emotional disconnection. Frank realized he needed to shift from expecting closeness to inviting it. So instead of saying, "Why didn't you call?" he started saying, "Whenever you have time, I'd love to catch up." Instead of hinting about loneliness, "I hardly see you anymore," he said, "It means a lot when we spend time together." And slowly, Michael stopped feeling guilty and started feeling welcome. 3. Your approval matters more than you think, even now. This one surprised Frank. He thought, my son's a grown man. He doesn't need my approval. But Michael explained, Dad, your opinion shaped me. Even now, part of me listens for your reaction. When Frank criticized small things, the car Michael bought, the decisions he made at work, how he was raising his kids, Michael heard something deeper. I'm still not good enough. And decades of advice felt like decades of criticism. Psychology research at the University of Rochester confirms that parental criticism, even subtle, can affect self-esteem well into adulthood. Frank learned that his words still held power, so he started using that power differently. I'm proud of how you handle things. You're doing a great job as a father. I respect the choices you make. And each time he said something affirming, Michael opened up a bit more. 4. I want a relationship with you, but a different kind of relationship. This was the turning point. Michael said, Dad, I don't want you to be my instructor. I want you to be my father, the one I can talk to, the one I can relax with. As children grow, the relationship must evolve. What worked at age 10 doesn't work at 40. What felt loving at 12 feels intrusive at 35.
According to family therapy research, the shift from parent-child hierarchy to adult-adult relationship requires listening, curiosity, shared experiences, and mutual respect. Not control, not correction, not instruction. So Frank began practicing asking instead of telling, listening instead of lecturing, connecting instead of correcting. And slowly, the emotional distance began to close. Frank's story isn't unusual. In fact, it's extremely common. Here's what research shows. 1. Adult children withdraw when they feel judged or corrected. A study from the Journal of Family Issues found that unsolicited advice is one of the top causes of emotional distance between parents and adult children. 2. Listening builds more trust than giving advice. Neuroscience research shows that when someone feels heard, the brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. When someone feels corrected, the brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. 3. Boundaries help relationships survive. Harvard's longitudinal study found that respecting autonomy strengthens long-term parent-child closeness. 4. Affirmation heals old wounds. Even late in life, hearing phrases like, "I'm proud of you," can rewire emotional patterns formed decades earlier. It's never too late. If you've recognized pieces of yourself in Frank's story, you're already on the road to healing. Here's practical ways to apply this wisdom today. 1. Use the listen first rule. Before responding to anything your adult child says, silently ask yourself, Do they want comfort, connection, or solutions? You'll be amazed how often the answer is connection. 2. Replace advice with curiosity. Try these phrases. How did that feel for you? What do you think you'll do next? I'm here to listen if you want to talk. These open conversations instead of shutting them down. 3. Respect their time and boundaries. Say, call me when it works for you. Is this a good time to talk? I understand you're juggling a lot. Pressure creates distance. Understanding creates closeness. 4. Offer small but powerful affirmations. I'm proud of you. You've grown into a strong, wise person. You handle so much with grace. These melt decades of tension. Frank once believed love meant solutions, but he learned something far more profound. What adult children want most isn't answers, it's understanding. They want to be seen. They want to be respected. They want to be heard without correction. And they want a relationship that fits the adults they've become. When you shift from instructing to listening, from correcting to connecting, from judging to understanding, you give your child a gift they'll remember for the rest of their life. It is never too late to build a deeper bond. All it takes is willingness, and one small shift at a time. If this message touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can help families heal, one honest conversation at a time. There comes a time in life when arguments lose their power, but memories don't. If you're over 60, you may have noticed this already. The things that once caused tension, who was right, who was wrong, no longer feel as important as the stories that were never fully told. Because deep down, what families need most isn't agreement, it's understanding. And sometimes, the most powerful healing doesn't come from blaming the past, but from finally sharing it. Over the years, I've listened to many families talk about old wounds, not in moments of anger, but in moments of reflection. What consistently brings peace isn't proving a point, it's telling a story. Psychologists, gerontologists, and family therapists agree. Shared memories help families make sense of pain without reopening the fight. This story reflects that truth. Eleanor was 76 when she decided to open the old box. It had been sitting in the back of her closet for decades, filled with photographs, letters, and scraps of paper no one had looked at in years. Her adult children were visiting that weekend, not for a holiday, just a rare, ordinary visit, the kind that sometimes feels more meaningful than Christmas. Eleanor placed the box on the dining table without saying a word. At first, no one touched it. Then her daughter reached for a photograph, and just like that, the room changed. Let's slow this moment down. Situation: Eleanor's family had history, unspoken disappointments, moments that were never fully resolved. Desire: she didn't want apologies anymore. She wanted closeness before time made it impossible. Conflict: every attempt to talk about the past had turned into blame. Change: instead of explanations, Eleanor offered stories. Result: and those stories did what arguments never could. They softened the truth. Research supports this approach. According to studies in narrative psychology, storytelling helps the brain process emotional pain without triggering defensiveness. When we share memories instead of accusations, the brain listens differently. Family therapy research shows that reminiscence, especially among older adults, strengthens intergenerational bonds even when relationships were strained. Why?
Because stories allow room for complexity. Blame does not. Application through the story. Eleanor picked up a photograph of herself at 23. She smiled softly. "I was terrified then," she said. "No one ever asked me that." Her children listened, not to defend themselves, but to understand her. She didn't say, "You never supported me." She said, "I didn't know how to ask for help." That difference mattered. Another photograph surfaced, a family argument frozen in time. Eleanor didn't explain who was wrong. She said, "I wish I'd known then what I know now." No blame, just reflection. Her children began sharing their own memories, not as evidence, but as experience. For the first time, no one interrupted. That was the healing. If you're watching this and carrying old family pain, here's something worth remembering. You don't heal the past by rewriting it. You heal it by telling it honestly and gently. Try this. Share what you felt, not what others did wrong. Speak from memory, not accusation. Let silence exist between stories. Families don't need perfect histories. They need room to understand one another. And often, the quiet act of saying, "This is how I remember it," opens doors that blame keeps closed. If this message spoke to you, please like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe for more reflections on family, aging, and emotional healing. Because sometimes, the stories we finally tell are the ones that set us free.
Christmas has a way of bringing everyone back together. Adult children return with packed schedules, tired eyes, and lives that no longer revolve around the family home. They arrive carrying gifts and also invisible weight. Older parents wait, sometimes with excitement, sometimes with a quiet worry they don't say out loud. Many ask themselves the same question: how do I make them feel welcome without making them feel like children again? Because welcome isn't created by decorations. It's not built by perfect meals, busy plans, or full calendars. Feeling truly welcome is emotional, and often it's decided in the smallest moments. Family therapists often say something important. Holidays don't create family tension, they reveal it. Christmas magnifies what already exists beneath the surface. Who feels safe? Who feels judged? Who feels like they belong? And who feels like a guest? Research in family psychology shows that adult children often decide whether a visit feels emotionally safe within the first few hours, not because of what's said, but because of what's felt. This story is about one parent who noticed those feelings and quietly chose to change them. Margaret is 76. She has hosted Christmas for over 40 years. Her house still smells like pine and cinnamon. The ornaments still hang in the same familiar places. The dining table still carries the marks of decades of family meals. Traditions are intact. But over the past few years, Margaret noticed something painful. Her adult children still came. They were polite, they brought gifts, but they didn't fully settle. They arrived later, left earlier, stayed guarded. The laughter felt lighter, but shorter. Margaret began to wonder something that frightened her. When did my home stop feeling like home to them? Gesture number 1, letting go of the right way. The tension used to appear almost immediately. Coats placed on the wrong chair, shoes left near the door, phones out during conversations. Margaret felt irritation rise, quickly followed by guilt for feeling it. She wanted things to feel warm, but she also wanted them done properly. This year, something inside her shifted. She asked herself a new question. Do I want everything done right, or do I want them relaxed? Family psychology research shows that adult children often feel unwelcome when they sense they're being evaluated, even subtly. So, Margaret chose differently. She let the house feel a little messier. She let routines bend. She let control loosen.
and something softened almost immediately. Gesture number 2, greeting them as adults, not children. When her daughter arrived, Margaret said something. "You look tired. Are you taking care of yourself?" She stopped. She remembered how those words, though loving, often landed as concern or criticism. Instead, she said, "I'm really glad you're here." That was all. No commentary, no evaluation. Studies in adult family relationships show that adult children are especially sensitive to being observed, their bodies, their choices, their energy. A simple welcome without analysis communicates respect. Margaret saw her daughter's shoulders drop. She hadn't realized how tense they'd been. Gesture number 3, asking, not assuming. That evening, Margaret did something she had never done before. She asked, "What would make this visit feel good for you?" Then she stopped talking. She didn't follow the question with suggestions. She didn't explain traditions. She didn't defend expectations. She listened. Research consistently shows that being asked genuinely signals equality, not authority, not obligation. Her son hesitated, then said, "Honestly, just space to rest, no schedule." Margaret nodded and honored it. That night, no one was rushed. No one was reminded of what comes next. Time slowed. Gesture number 4, letting silence be comfortable. In the past, Margaret filled every quiet moment. Questions, updates, advice disguised as conversation. Silence made her nervous. This year, something inside her shifted. She allowed it. People sat together without talking. Someone scrolled on their phone. Someone stared out the window. No one was corrected. Psychologists note that comfort with silence is a strong sign of emotional safety. When people don't feel watched or managed, they relax. The room breathed, and slowly conversation returned, naturally. Gesture number 5, including without directing. When it was time to prepare dinner, Margaret felt the familiar urge to organize. Instead, she asked a different question. Would you like to help, or would you rather rest? Choice matters. Adult children often feel unwelcome when participation feels compulsory, even if it's framed as tradition. Her daughter chose to help. Her son chose to sit quietly. Margaret didn't comment on either choice. Both felt respected. Later, laughter filled the kitchen, unforced, unplanned. Gesture number 6, avoiding old stories that shrink them. Margaret almost told an old childhood story, one she'd shared many times. But she paused. She realized something important. Adult children don't want to be remembered only as who they were. They want to be seen as who they are now. Research on identity and aging shows that repeatedly referencing childhood mistakes can unintentionally freeze adult children in old roles. So, Margaret chose a different story. She shared something recent, something she admired about her son's patience. He smiled, not politely, but with pride. Gesture number 7, saying the quiet truth out loud. On Christmas morning, Margaret said something new. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She simply said, "I want you to know something. You don't owe me anything by being here. I'm grateful you chose to come." There was a pause. Research in attachment psychology shows that removing emotional obligation strengthens closeness. When love is freely chosen, it feels safer. Margaret saw something soften in her children's faces. They stayed longer that day. The emotional shift. Nothing dramatic happened. No speeches, no tears, but something changed. People lingered, laughed more freely, stayed present. The house felt warmer, not because of decorations, but because of emotional ease. Margaret realized something quietly profound. Welcome is not created by effort, it's created by permission. Why these gestures matter? Adult children don't need perfect holidays. They need emotional safety. They need to feel accepted as adults, not evaluated as children. Small gestures communicate big messages. You belong here. You're respected. You don't have to perform. and those messages are remembered long after Christmas ends. How viewers can apply this? If you're preparing to host adult children this Christmas, remember, you don't need to impress. You don't need to manage every moment. You don't need to recreate the past. Choose one gesture. Let one thing go. Ask one genuine question. Say one honest sentence. That's often enough. The truth is simple. Feeling welcome is not about being hosted. It's about being accepted fully as you are today. And when adult children feel truly welcome, they don't rush away. They stay. They return. They open up. If this reflection resonated with you, please like the video, share it with someone preparing for the holidays, and subscribe for more wisdom on family, aging, and meaningful connection. Sometimes the smallest gestures create the warmest Christmas memories of all.
Do you ever notice how quiet the house feels after Christmas is over? The decorations are still up, the leftovers are still in the fridge, but something feels different. For many families, Christmas doesn't end with joy, it ends with relief. Relief that it's over, relief that no one argued too much, relief that certain topics were avoided. But in some homes, something else happens. Adult children leave after Christmas feeling lighter, closer, grateful in ways they don't always know how to say out loud. The truth is, a peaceful Christmas does more than create a nice memory. It leaves a lasting emotional imprint on your children, even when they're grown, independent, and have families of their own. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 things adult children feel deeply grateful for after a peaceful Christmas. Not flashy gifts, not perfect meals, but quiet, meaningful things that strengthen relationships long after the holidays end. These aren't guesses or opinions. They're patterns that show up again and again in families who stay close over time. And by the end of this video, you may realize that some of the most powerful gifts you gave this Christmas didn't come in a box. Stay with us until the end, because the last point is one many parents overlook, yet it often matters the most. Now, let's begin. Thing 1. They feel grateful for emotional safety. One of the deepest things adult children feel after a peaceful Christmas is emotional safety. When your children were young, safety meant locked doors, warm coats, and knowing you were nearby. But as adults, safety means something different. It means they can be themselves without fear of judgment. It means conversations don't feel like emotional minefields. It means they don't have to brace themselves before walking through your door. Imagine 2 families. In one home, adult children arrive already tense. They carefully choose their words. They avoid certain topics. They prepare polite responses to subtle criticism. In another home, the atmosphere is calm. There's no pressure to explain life choices, no need to defend decisions about parenting, careers, or relationships. That second environment creates emotional safety, and adult children feel profoundly grateful for it, even if they never say it out loud. When Christmas is peaceful, your children leave feeling accepted, not evaluated, seen, not inspected, welcomed, not tolerated. Emotional safety tells them you don't have to earn your place here, you already belong, and that feeling stays with them long after the holiday ends. Thing 2, they're grateful you respected their independence. Adult children value their independence deeply, not because they don't love you, but because they worked hard to build a life of their own. After a peaceful Christmas, many adult children feel grateful that their parents respected their autonomy. This shows up in small but powerful ways. You didn't question every decision. You didn't give unsolicited advice. You didn't compare them to siblings or cousins. You trusted that they know what they're doing, even if you would do things differently. Consider Mark and Linda, both in their 40s. Mark visits his parents and feels like he's back in high school. Every choice is questioned, every difference becomes a discussion. Linda, on the other hand, visits her parents and feels like an adult. Her parents ask questions out of curiosity, not control. They listen more than they correct. After Christmas, Linda doesn't just feel happy, she feels respected. Respect is one of the greatest gifts you can give an adult child. It tells them, I see you as capable.
I trust your judgment. When children feel respected, they want to come back, not out of obligation, but out of connection. Thing 3, they're grateful you focused on calm, not control. Many adult children don't expect Christmas to be perfect. They just hope it won't be tense. A peaceful Christmas often means less control and more calm. No strict schedules, no emotional pressure to do things the right way, no unspoken rules that everyone feels but no one names. Think about 2 Christmas dinners. At one table, everything must be just right. Timing, traditions, conversations, all closely managed. Everyone is on edge, afraid of doing something wrong. At another table, things are flexible. Maybe dinner is late, maybe plans change, but no one makes a big deal out of it. That calm atmosphere is something adult children deeply appreciate, because calm tells them being together matters more than being perfect. And that kind of environment allows real connection to happen. After Christmas, adult children often think back and realize, this year felt easier. I could breathe. That feeling stays with them and draws them back again. Thing 4, they're grateful you focused on connection, not the past. One of the most meaningful things adult children feel grateful for after a peaceful Christmas is not being pulled backward. No revisiting old mistakes, no bringing up past disappointments, no reopening wounds that have already healed or are still healing. Peaceful holidays focus on the present. They allow conversations to stay in the now. How life is going, what brings joy, what's happening today, not what went wrong years ago. Imagine 2 conversations. In one, every topic somehow circles back to the past. Old arguments, old decisions, old regrets. In the other, the focus is forward. Shared laughter, new memories, simple moments. Adult children feel grateful when you choose connection over correction. It shows emotional maturity, and it shows love that doesn't need to keep score. After Christmas, they remember how it felt to just enjoy your presence without emotional weight attached. Thing 5, they're grateful for the way you made them feel welcome. This final point is quiet, but incredibly powerful. After a peaceful Christmas, adult children often feel grateful not for what you said or did, but how you made them feel. Did they feel wanted, not obligated, comfortable, not tense, appreciated, not criticized? Feeling welcome isn't about decorations or food, it's about emotional tone. It's the difference between "we're glad you came" and "we expect you to come." When adult children feel genuinely welcome, something shifts. They stop counting how long they should stay. They relax into the moment. They leave feeling closer, not drained. And that feeling becomes part of how they remember you. Long after Christmas is over, that emotional memory remains. Now that you've heard these 5 things, take a moment to reflect. This past Christmas, what kind of emotional experience did your children leave with? The good news is, peaceful holidays aren't about perfection. They're about intention, emotional safety, respect, calm, presence, warmth. These are things you can continue to offer not just at Christmas, but all year long. If you recognize areas where things could improve, don't be discouraged. Awareness is the first step towards deeper connection. Because in the end, adult children don't remember every detail of the holiday. They remember how they felt being with you. And when they feel safe, respected, and welcomed, gratitude naturally follows. If you found this video meaningful, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you'd like your children to feel grateful for after the next holiday. If you're still watching and found value here, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss future content. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful videos to inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Have you ever noticed how winter can feel both magical and lonely? The holidays pass quickly, the days are shorter, and for adult children, life often feels full but distant from home. As parents, we naturally want our children to feel warmth, joy, and connection, even as they juggle their busy lives, careers, and families of their own. Winter offers a rare opportunity, a season where small, intentional gestures can create lasting memories. Today, we'll explore 6 ways parents can make winter feel magical for adult children. These are not about grand gestures or expensive gifts. They're about thoughtfulness, presence, and connection. By the end of this video, you'll have practical ways to create a sense of wonder and closeness, even as your children navigate adulthood. Stay with us until the end, because the final idea is simple but incredibly powerful. Way 1. Create cozy, shared moments at home. Winter naturally invites warmth, both in the home and in relationships. Simple gestures can create lasting memories. Light a fireplace or candles, make hot drinks together, play soft music in the background. Even a quiet evening where everyone sits together, talking, laughing, or simply enjoying a movie creates a magical feeling. For adult children, these moments often feel rare. They remind them of home, of safety, of belonging. The key is intention. Even if your children are busy, creating a space that feels inviting will make them want to come together. Way 2. Celebrate small traditions. You don't need elaborate plans or big events to make winter magical. Small traditions matter most. They become anchors of memory. Some examples: baking cookies together using recipes passed down from family, taking a short walk through holiday lights, watching one favorite seasonal movie every year. Even small rituals, repeated annually, create a sense of continuity and warmth. Adult children often remember these moments far longer than any extravagant gift. Traditions aren't about perfection. They're about consistency, presence, and joy. Way 3. Leave thoughtful notes or messages. Words have power, especially when they are unexpected. During the busy winter season, small notes or messages can be deeply meaningful. A sticky note on their mug: "Enjoy this, you're loved." A text reminding them of a favorite memory. A handwritten card expressing gratitude or pride. These tiny gestures show thoughtfulness. They remind adult children that you're thinking of them, and they feel magical because they're personal and intentional. Way 4. Share stories from your own winter memories. Storytelling is a simple but powerful way to connect across generations. Adult children may forget the details of family life, but they never forget the feeling it created. Share childhood memories from your winter holidays, lessons learned during snowstorms, gatherings, or special celebrations, funny or heartwarming moments they may never have heard before. Stories help your children see you as a person with history and emotion. They create connection and wonder because they make them feel part of a living, ongoing story. Way 5. Offer experiences, not just gifts. Winter magic isn't always about material things. Experiences create memories that last far longer than anything you can wrap. Some ideas: invite them to a small winter hike or walk in nature. Cook a special meal together and savor it slowly. Attend a local concert, show, or seasonal festival. The goal is shared joy, moments where you're present together, not just exchanging items. Even a simple walk through freshly fallen snow, talking and laughing together, can create more magic than the most expensive gift. Way 6. Create space for heartfelt conversation. Magic is not just about fun and tradition, it's about connection. Winter's quiet moments allow for heartfelt conversation. Adult children often appreciate the chance to talk about life without distractions or pressure. You can invite conversation gently. Ask about their hopes for the upcoming year. Share what you've learned over the years. Reminisce about past winters together. Listening deeply without judgment or advice is one of the most magical gifts you can give. These conversations remind adult children they are seen,
heard, and loved exactly as they are. The true magic of winter. Now that you've seen these 6 ways, reflect on your own home and family life. Winter magic is not built on grand gestures, it's built on intention, warmth, and presence. Even the smallest moments, a shared cup of cocoa, a thoughtful note, a story by the fireplace, can leave lasting emotional imprints. As parents, the gift we give is connection. It's love expressed in moments, words, and shared experiences. And that gift lasts far beyond the season. Adult children may not remember every detail. They may not recall every meal, gift, or decoration, but they will remember how winter felt because of you. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment below and share one small gesture you plan to do this winter to create magic for your adult children. If you're still watching and found value in this reflection, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to support Elder Wisdom. Thank you for spending this time with us. We'll see you again in the next video.
When your family stops visiting, do this 6 ways to find joy again. Have you ever sat in your favorite chair, looked around the quiet room, and thought to yourself, where did everybody go? Maybe your kids used to call more often, or the grandkids used to come running through the door, filling the house with laughter. But now, the phone stays silent. The visits get fewer and farther between. And that silence? It can feel louder than a crowded room. If you felt this way, you're not alone. It's something so many people experience as they get older. Life changes, routines shift, and suddenly, the people who once seemed to need you so much, well, they have their own lives now. And it hurts. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to sit and wait for someone to walk through the door. You have more control over your happiness than you might realize. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 powerful ways to find joy again, even when your family isn't around as much as they used to be. These aren't just empty feel-good phrases. These are real, actionable steps you can take today to bring more happiness, connection, and fulfillment into your life. Because the truth is, your joy shouldn't depend on whether or not someone else decides to visit. So, let's start with the first step, shifting your mindset. I know. That might sound like just another cliche, but hear me out. When your family stops visiting, it's easy to take it personally. You might start wondering, did I do something wrong? Do they not care anymore? But most of the time, the reality is much simpler. Life gets busy. Work, kids, responsibilities, they take up a lot of time and energy. And while that doesn't mean they love you any less, it does mean you might not always be at the top of their priority list. That's not a reflection of your worth. It's just how life moves. And if you keep waiting for others to fill your time and bring you happiness, you're handing over the keys to your own joy. Instead, what if you decided, right now, to be your own source of happiness? To create a life that feels full, regardless of who shows up? It starts with a simple decision. I will not let my happiness depend on someone else's schedule. And once you make that decision, the next step is to rediscover what makes you feel alive. Think back, before you were a parent, before you had all these responsibilities, what were the things that used to make you happy? Was it painting? Writing? Playing music? Exploring new places? Sometimes, we get so caught up in taking care of others that we forget how to take care of ourselves. You don't need permission to start enjoying life again. Pick up that hobby you abandoned years ago. Take that class you always wanted to try. Find something that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. Because the more you fill your life with things you love, the less you'll feel like you're waiting on someone else to do it for you. Now, let's talk about the power of unexpected connection. There's something magical about forming new relationships, even later in life. Maybe it's a neighbor you've only ever said hello to in passing. Maybe it's someone you see at the coffee shop every morning. The truth is, there are people all around you who would love to have a conversation, share a laugh, or even become a good friend if someone just made the first move. It doesn't have to be complicated. A simple smile, a small conversation, an invitation for a walk. The more you open yourself up to these moments, the more you'll realize that connection isn't just about family, it's about the people who choose to show up in your life, no matter where they come from. And that brings us to something really important, changing the way you see loneliness. Loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected, like you don't have a purpose. But what if, instead of seeing this time as something to endure, you saw it as a chance to redefine your life? To take control of your happiness in a way you never have before? Because the truth is, this chapter of your life, it's yours to shape. And you have more power than you think. You know, it's funny, when we're young, we can't wait to be independent. We want our own lives, our own space, our own freedom. But as we get older, that same independence can start to feel like loneliness. And that's when the real challenge begins, learning how to embrace your own company without feeling isolated. That's why the next step to finding joy again is building a daily routine that excites you. When family stops visiting as often, it's easy to let the days start blending together. You wake up, drink your coffee, maybe watch some TV, and before you know it, another day has passed. But here's the thing, having a routine isn't just about filling time. It's about creating moments that you actually look forward to. So, what's something that could make your mornings feel special? Maybe it's a short walk outside, feeling the fresh air on your face. Maybe it's a quiet moment with a book you love. Or maybe it's learning something new, taking an online class, trying out a new recipe, or even just listening to a podcast that makes you think. The secret to joy isn't in big, life-changing moments. It's in the small, meaningful things you do every single day. And when you build a routine that energizes you, that gives you something to wake up for, loneliness starts to lose its grip. But let's take it one step further. Because while enjoying your own company is important, connecting with others in new ways can bring an entirely new level of joy. Have you ever considered volunteering? It might sound like a big commitment, but it doesn't have to be. It can be as simple as reading to kids at a library, helping out at a local community center, or even just checking in on an elderly neighbor. The thing about giving is that it doesn't just help others, it fills you with a sense of purpose. And purpose? That's what keeps us going. That's what makes life feel meaningful, even when things don't go the way we expected. But I get it. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know where to start. I don't know if I have the energy for all of that. And that's okay. Because connection doesn't always have to come from volunteering or meeting new people. Sometimes, reconnecting with your past can bring unexpected joy. When was the last time you called an old friend? Or looked through old photos and let yourself remember the stories behind them? Sometimes, we lose touch with people not because we don't care, but because life simply moves on. But here's the beautiful thing, you can always reach back out. Send a message. Make a phone call. Write a letter, even if it's just to say, I was thinking about you today. You'd be surprised how many people are just waiting for a reason to reconnect. And if you don't have anyone from the past you feel comfortable reaching out to, that's okay too. There are so many online communities now, book clubs, hobby groups, discussion forums, filled with people who are looking for connection, just like you. The key is to take that first step. Because once you do, you might just find that the world feels a little less lonely than it did before. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you, embracing new technology to stay connected. I know. Technology can feel overwhelming. Maybe your kids or grandkids have tried to show you how to use FaceTime or WhatsApp, and it just seemed like too much trouble. But here's the truth, learning even just a little bit can open up a whole new world for you. Think about it. With a simple video call, you can see your family's faces, hear their voices, and feel like you're right there with them. It's not the same as being in person, but it's a lot better than sitting alone, wondering when they'll visit next. And if your family is busy, that's okay, too. Because technology isn't just about staying in touch with them, it's about opening up new ways to connect with people all over the world. Ever thought about joining an online community? There are groups for everything: gardening, history, cooking, even storytelling. Some people even make new friendships by playing simple online games or joining discussion groups where they can share their experiences. The point is, technology isn't the enemy. It's just a tool. And the more you use it to your advantage, the less isolated you'll feel. But let's shift gears for a moment. Because while connection and routine are important, there's something else that can bring you joy in ways you may not have considered before: changing your environment. Think about the space around you right now. Does it make you feel happy? Inspired? Or does it feel a little stale? Sometimes, when life feels stagnant, the best thing you can do is change something in your surroundings. It doesn't have to be a major renovation. It could be as simple as rearranging your furniture, adding a few plants, or hanging up photos that bring back good memories. Even getting out of the house and exploring a new place, a park you've never visited, a different cafe, or a museum, can refresh your mind and lift your mood. When you change your environment, you change the way you feel. And that's powerful. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about the most important thing of all: learning to find joy within yourself. Because at the end of the day, happiness doesn't come from how often your family visits. It doesn't come from what other people do or don't do. It comes from within. If you're always waiting for someone else to make you happy, you'll always feel like something is missing. But when you start creating your own joy through hobbies, new experiences, meaningful connections, and simple daily pleasures, you take back control of your happiness. And that's the secret. That's the real key to feeling fulfilled, no matter who comes to visit or how often they call. So, let's make a promise today. A promise to stop waiting. A promise to start living fully, right now. Because there is so much joy still ahead, if you choose to embrace it. Now, before we finish, let's take a moment to reflect on something truly important. It's easy to feel like life is passing you by when people you love seem too busy to visit. You might find yourself thinking, wasn't it just yesterday that my house was full of noise, laughter, and love? Where did everyone go? And why do I feel so forgotten? But here's the truth: you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. And your life still holds incredible value. The challenge is learning to see that value for yourself. Yes, your family loves you. Yes, they care. But their absence doesn't define your worth. And it certainly doesn't mean your best days are behind you. Because joy isn't something that comes from others. It's something you create for yourself. It's in the simple moments: the warmth of the sun on your face, the taste of your morning coffee, the book that keeps you up at night because you just can't put it down. It's in the connections you make, the small victories you celebrate, and the way you choose to keep moving forward, even when life feels quiet. So instead of waiting for someone to walk through the door, be the person who brings joy into your own life. Start something new. Make a call. Take a walk in a place you've never been before. Try a new recipe. Write down a memory that makes you smile. Join a class. Plant a flower. Do something, anything, that reminds you that life is still happening, right here, right now. And when your family does come to visit, when they do call, you'll have so much more to share. Because instead of waiting for life to come to you, you'll already be living it. Now, if this message spoke to you today, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need to hear it, too. And if you want more tips and motivation for living a happy, fulfilling life, make sure to subscribe. Because here's the thing, you are never too old, too forgotten, or too late to find joy again. It's here. It's waiting. And it's yours for the taking. After 60, do this to avoid memory loss. 5 simple habits to keep your brain sharp. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you've struggled to recall a name or a word that's right on the tip of your tongue. If so, you're not alone. As we age, it's natural to notice changes in our memory and cognitive function. But here's the good news, just because it's common doesn't mean it's inevitable. In fact, there are simple, everyday habits you can start right now to keep your brain sharp, boost your memory, and feel more confident in your mental abilities. That's what we're going to talk about today. In this video, we'll explore 5 simple habits that can help you avoid memory loss and keep your brain in top shape after 60. These aren't complicated or time-consuming, they're practical, actionable steps that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. Whether you're looking to stay sharp for your favorite hobbies, keep up with your grandkids, or simply feel more in control of your mind, these tips are for you. So, let's dive in and start with the first habit. Habit 1. Feed your brain the right foods. You've probably heard the saying, you are what you eat, and when it comes to your brain, that couldn't be more true. The foods you eat play a huge role in how well your brain functions. Think of your brain as a high-performance engine. It needs the right fuel to run smoothly. So, what should you be eating to keep your memory sharp? First, focus on foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are like brain superfoods. They help build and repair brain cells, improve communication between neurons, and even reduce inflammation, which can contribute to memory loss. Some great sources of omega-3s include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. If you're not a fan of fish, you can also get omega-3s from walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Next, load up on antioxidants. These powerful compounds protect your brain from oxidative stress, which can damage cells over time. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables are packed with antioxidants. Think blueberries, spinach, kale, and even dark chocolate. Yes, chocolate can be good for you in moderation. And don't forget about whole grains and lean proteins. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and brown rice provide a steady supply of energy to your brain, while lean proteins like chicken, turkey, and beans help produce neurotransmitters that are essential for memory and focus. The key here is to make small, sustainable changes. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start by adding 1 brain-boosting food to your meals each day. Maybe it's a handful of blueberries with your breakfast or a piece of salmon for dinner. Over time, these small changes can add up to big benefits for your brain. Habit 2. Stay physically active. Now, let's talk about movement. You might be wondering, what does exercise have to do with my memory? Well, it turns out, quite a lot. Physical activity isn't just good for your body, it's also one of the best things you can do for your brain. When you exercise, your heart pumps more oxygen-rich blood to your brain, which helps it function at its best. Exercise also stimulates the release of chemicals called growth factors, which promote the growth of new brain cells and improve connections between them. Plus, it reduces stress and improves your mood, both of which are important for mental clarity. The good news is, you don't have to run a marathon or spend hours at the gym to reap these benefits. Even moderate activities like walking, swimming, or gardening can make a big difference. Aim for at least 30 minutes of physical activity most days of the week. If that sounds overwhelming, start small. Take a 10-minute walk around your neighborhood, do some gentle stretching, or try a beginner's yoga class. One of my favorite tips is to combine physical activity with social interaction. For example, join a walking group or take a dance class with friends. Not only will you get the benefits of exercise, but you'll also engage your brain by interacting with others. It's a win-win. Habit 3. Challenge your brain regularly. Just like your muscles, your brain needs regular exercise to stay strong. If you don't use it, you risk losing it. That's why it's so important to challenge your brain with new and stimulating activities. Think about it. When you learn something new, your brain forms new connections between neurons. This process, called neuroplasticity, helps keep your brain flexible and resilient. So, how can you challenge your brain? The possibilities are endless. Try picking up a new hobby, like painting, playing a musical instrument, or learning a new language. These activities require focus, coordination, and problem solving, all of which are great for your brain. If you prefer something less time-intensive, puzzles like crosswords, Sudoku, or jigsaw puzzles can also be effective. Another fun way to challenge your brain is to switch up your routine. If you always take the same route to the store, try a different path. If you're right-handed, try using your left hand for simple tasks like brushing your teeth. These small changes force your brain to think in new ways, keeping it sharp and engaged. The key is to find activities that you enjoy and that push you out of your comfort zone. It's not about being perfect, it's about keeping your brain active and curious. Now that we've talked about nourishing your brain with the right foods, staying active, and challenging your mind with new activities, let's move on to the next 2 habits that can help you avoid memory loss and keep your brain sharp after 60. These habits are just as important, and they're things you can start doing today to make a real difference in your mental clarity and overall well-being. Habit 4. Prioritize quality sleep. Let's talk about sleep. I know, sleep can sometimes feel elusive as we get older. Maybe you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night or struggling to fall asleep in the first place. But here's the thing, sleep is absolutely essential for your brain health. It's during sleep that your brain consolidates memories, clears out toxins, and repairs itself. Without enough quality sleep, your cognitive function can take a serious hit. So, how can you improve your sleep? Start by creating a bedtime routine that signals to your body that it's time to wind down. This could include activities like reading a book, taking a warm bath, or practicing gentle stretches. Avoid screens, like your phone, TV, or computer, for at least an hour before bed, as the blue light they emit can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Another tip is to make your sleep environment as comfortable as possible. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. If noise is an issue, consider using a white noise machine or earplugs. And if you're still having trouble sleeping, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. They can help rule out any underlying issues, like sleep apnea, and suggest strategies or treatments to improve your sleep. Remember, it's not just about the number of hours you sleep, it's about the quality of that sleep. Even if you're in bed for 8 hours, tossing and turning won't give your brain the rest it needs. Focus on creating a peaceful, consistent sleep routine, and your brain will thank you. Habit 5. Stay socially connected. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you, your social life. Did you know that staying socially connected is one of the best things you can do for your brain? It's true. Research shows that strong social connections can help protect against memory loss and cognitive decline. When you engage with others, you're not just having fun, you're also stimulating your brain in ways that keep it sharp and resilient. Think about it. Having a conversation requires you to listen, process information, and respond. It's a mental workout that engages multiple areas of your brain. Plus, social interactions can boost your mood, reduce stress, and even lower your risk of depression, all of which are important for brain health. So, how can you stay socially connected? Start by reaching out to friends and family. Schedule regular phone calls, video chats, or in-person visits. If you're able, join a club or group that aligns with your interests. Whether it's a book club, a gardening group, or a volunteer organization, being part of a community can provide a sense of purpose and belonging. If you're feeling isolated, don't be afraid to take the first step. Invite a neighbor over for coffee, or strike up a conversation with someone at your local senior center. You might be surprised at how quickly a simple connection can brighten your day and your brain. Now that we've covered the importance of quality sleep and staying socially connected, you've got 5 powerful habits under your belt to help you avoid memory loss and keep your brain sharp after 60. But before we wrap up, there's one more thing I want to share with you, a bonus tip that ties all of these habits together. It's something simple yet incredibly effective, and it's something you can start doing right now. So, stay with me as we move into the final part of this video, where we'll bring everything together and leave you with a clear, actionable plan for maintaining a sharp, healthy mind. We've covered a lot of ground so far, 5 powerful habits to help you avoid memory loss and keep your brain sharp after 60. From feeding your brain the right foods and staying physically active, to challenging your mind, prioritizing quality sleep, and staying socially connected, these habits are all about giving your brain the care and attention it deserves. But before we wrap up, I want to share one final tip that ties everything together. It's simple, yet it can make a world of difference in how you feel and function every day. The bonus tip: manage stress effectively. Stress is something we all deal with, but did you know that chronic stress can actually harm your brain? When you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. In small doses, cortisol is helpful. It gives you the energy and focus to handle challenges. But when stress becomes constant, high levels of cortisol can damage your brain cells, shrink the part of your brain responsible for memory, the hippocampus, and even increase your risk of cognitive decline. The good news is, there are plenty of ways to manage stress and protect your brain. One of the most effective methods is mindfulness meditation. Even just a few minutes a day can help calm your mind, reduce cortisol levels, and improve your focus. If meditation isn't your thing, try deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, or simply spending time in nature. The key is to find what works for you and make it a regular part of your routine. Another great way to manage stress is through gratitude. Taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you're thankful for can shift your perspective and help you focus on the positive. You might keep a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. It's a small habit, but it can have a big impact on your mental and emotional well-being. And don't forget to laugh. Laughter really is the best medicine. It reduces stress hormones, boosts your mood, and even strengthens your immune system. So, watch a funny movie, share a joke with a friend, or simply allow yourself to find joy in the little things. Your brain and your whole body will thank you. Bringing it all together. Now that we've covered all 6 habits, feeding your brain, staying active, challenging your mind, prioritizing sleep, staying socially connected, and managing stress, it's time to put them into action. Remember, you don't have to do everything all at once. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 habits to focus on first, and gradually build from there. Maybe this week, you'll add more brain-boosting foods to your meals and take a 10-minute walk each day. Next week, you might try a new hobby or reach out to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. The key is consistency. Small, steady steps can lead to big changes over time. And don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. Every time you make a healthy choice, you're investing in your brain and your future. Whether it's remembering a name more easily, feeling more energized, or simply enjoying a good night's sleep, these small victories add up. They're proof that you're taking control of your health and well-being. A final word of encouragement. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this: your brain is incredible. It has the ability to adapt, grow, and thrive at any age. By adopting these habits, you're not just preventing memory loss, you're creating a life full of vitality, joy, and purpose. You're showing yourself and the world that age is just a number and that it's never too late to take charge of your health. So, I want to hear from you. Which of these habits are you most excited to try? Have you already noticed changes in your memory or mental clarity? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's create a community where we can support and inspire each other on this journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from it too. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips and strategies for living your best life after 60. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, every day is an opportunity to take care of your brain, your body, and your spirit. Here's to living a life full of clarity, connection, and joy, no matter your age. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.
There comes a quiet moment in life when the question changes. You stop asking, "What will people say about me?" And instead, you begin asking something softer. What will they feel when they remember me? Not on special occasions, not in public speeches or family milestones, but in ordinary moments, on a Sunday afternoon, while washing dishes, while driving home after a visit. If you're over 60, this question may already live somewhere inside you, because legacy is no longer about what you build, it's about what remains in the hearts of the people you love. And the truth is, strong family bonds in adulthood are rarely built through grand gestures. They're built through simple habits practiced quietly over time. Over the years, I've had the privilege of listening to older parents and grandparents speak honestly about family relationships, not in moments of celebration, but in moments of reflection, in retirement homes, in counseling rooms, around kitchen tables late at night. And again, I hear the same realization. What mattered most wasn't what I gave them, it was how safe they felt with me. Family researchers and psychologists support this insight. Healthy adult family ties don't come from authority or sacrifice alone. They come from daily emotional habits, small choices that quietly say, "You belong here." This story brings those habits to life. Thomas was 81 when he noticed something that surprised him. His family still came home. Not just for holidays, not out of duty, not because they felt they should. They came because they wanted to. Sunday afternoons were his favorite. No decorations, no expectations, just a pot of coffee on the stove and an open door. His adult children arrived one by one, sometimes with stories, sometimes with worries, sometimes with silence. Thomas never asked why someone hadn't called sooner. He never counted days or kept score. He simply looked up and said, "I'm glad you're here." And somehow, they always came back. Let's slow Thomas's story down. Situation. Thomas grew up in a generation where love was shown through responsibility. You worked hard, you provided, you stayed strong. Feelings were private, advice was plentiful, silence was normal. Desire. As Thomas aged, what he wanted wasn't respect or obedience anymore, it was closeness. He wanted his children to talk to him, not just update him. Conflict. Old habits don't disappear easily. Advice came faster than listening. Correction felt like care. Silence sometimes felt uncomfortable. Change. Thomas began choosing different habits, not dramatically, but consistently. Result. Over time, his family relaxed around him, and that relaxation became trust. Research strongly supports what Thomas discovered intuitively. Harvard's Adult Development Study, one of the longest-running studies in history, has found that the quality of close relationships is the strongest predictor of happiness, health, and longevity. Not income, not status, not intelligence. Family psychology also shows that adult children remain emotionally connected to parents who provide emotional safety. Emotional safety means you won't be judged for being honest. You won't be corrected for feeling differently. You won't be punished
for growing in your own direction. And emotional safety isn't created in one conversation, it's created through habits. Thomas practiced the first habit without realizing it, listening without fixing. When his daughter talked about her marriage, he didn't interrupt with solutions. He let her finish. That silence said, "You don't have to defend yourself here." The second habit was consistency. Thomas called when he said he would. He showed up when he promised. Trust doesn't come from intensity, it comes from reliability. The third habit was curiosity. Instead of telling his grandchildren how life should be lived, he asked how they were living it. Curiosity communicates respect. Advice without permission often communicates control. The fourth habit was repair. When Thomas spoke sharply, and sometimes he didn't pretend it hadn't happened. He said, "I didn't handle that well. I'm sorry." Research shows that repair matters more than perfection in relationships. The fifth habit was blessing. Thomas expressed appreciation not for achievements, but for character. "I admire your patience. I respect how you handle conflict. I'm proud of the person you're becoming." Those words stay with people far longer than praise for success. The sixth habit was allowing independence. Thomas gave advice only when asked for, and when it wasn't followed, he stayed present. That taught his children they could grow without losing him. And the final habit, perhaps the most powerful, was emotional availability. Thomas allowed his family to see him feel, not weak, human. That openness gave everyone permission to be real. If you're watching this and thinking about your own family, here's something worth holding gently. Your legacy is not built at the end of life. It's built in the everyday moments leading up to it. Your children and grandchildren may forget what you bought them. They may forget what advice you gave, but they will remember whether they felt safe telling you the truth, whether they felt respected as adults, whether they felt welcomed, not judged, whether they felt loved without conditions. Strong family ties don't come from control, they come from trust. And trust is built through simple habits: listening without fixing, showing up consistently, repairing when necessary, respecting independence, expressing appreciation, staying emotionally open. These habits don't fade with age, they deepen. And one day, long after you're gone, your legacy won't be a story about what you owned or achieved. It will be the feeling people carry when they say your name. If this message resonated with you, please like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe for more reflections on family, aging, and quiet wisdom. Because the strongest legacy of all is love that always feels safe to return to.
Her name was Margaret. She called me on a Tuesday evening just after dinner, and the first thing she said was, "Solon, I think I'm losing my daughter." I asked her what happened. Was there a fight, an argument, something said that couldn't be unsaid? "No," she told me, "nothing happened. That's what I don't understand. She just visits less, calls less, shares less." Margaret called her daughter every single day. She remembered every birthday, every school play, every doctor's appointment. She drove 3 hours to help when the grandchildren were sick. She was, by every measure, a devoted mother. And she was slowly losing her daughter, not because of anything she did wrong, but because of something she didn't know she was doing at all. Welcome to the Parent's Blueprint. This is the first video in a 7-part series designed to help you understand and rebuild your relationship with your adult children. In this video, we're going to look at the 4 real reasons adult children pull away from their parents. Not the reasons parents assume, the real ones. Because here's what I've learned after years of conversations with parents just like Margaret and just like you. The distance is almost never about love. There is plenty of love on both sides. The distance is about something else entirely. Reason number 1. Too much presence without enough space. Margaret called her daughter every day, sometimes twice. She texted when there was no answer. She worried when she didn't hear back, and every call began the same way. "I haven't heard from you. Is everything okay?" To Margaret, this was love. This was care. To her daughter, it was pressure. Here's something that's hard to hear but important to understand. Adult children need space to miss you. When you're always present, always calling, always checking, there's no space for them to feel the absence. And no absence means no longing. And no longing means visits feel like obligations, not choices. The shift isn't about loving less, it's about trusting more. Trusting that your child will reach out when they're ready, and they will if you give them room. Reason number 2, help that feels like a burden. Margaret was generous, endlessly generous. She paid for vacations. She bought things without being asked. She showed up with food when her daughter seemed tired. But here's what her daughter told me in her own words. "Every time Mom helps me, I feel like I owe her something." That's not ingratitude, that's a signal. When help always comes with an invisible string, an expectation of gratitude, of closeness, of reciprocation, it stops feeling like a gift. It starts feeling like a debt. The most powerful help you can give your adult child is help with no strings attached, offered once, accepted or declined gracefully, and never mentioned again. Reason number 3, the expectations you never said out loud. This is the one that surprised Margaret. She expected Sunday dinners. She expected phone calls on holidays. She expected to be the first person her daughter called with good news. None of these expectations were ever spoken. They were simply assumed. And when her daughter didn't meet them, Margaret didn't say anything. She just went quiet, a little colder, a little more distant. Her daughter felt it, that cold silence after a missed Sunday. She didn't know what she'd done wrong. She just knew something was off, and she started dreading the visits because they always seemed to end with that familiar chill. Unspoken expectations are the most expensive kind. They cost you closeness, and nobody knows why. Reason number 4, replacing connection with guilt. "I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. Your brother calls every Sunday. I'm fine, don't worry about me. I don't want to bother you, you're so busy." Every one of these sentences is a guilt sentence, delivered with love, received as a weight. And here's the painful truth about that last one, "I don't want to bother you," said in that particular tone. Your child hears, "I respect your time." They hear, "You have already failed me."
Margaret didn't know she was doing this. She thought she was being honest about her feelings, and she was. But honesty delivered as guilt creates distance, not closeness. Think about it from your child's perspective. They have a full life, a demanding job, their own children to raise. They love you, genuinely, deeply, but every call ends with them feeling like they've disappointed you. And after enough calls like that, they start to dread picking up the phone. Her daughter started to feel that every conversation ended with her feeling like a bad daughter, not because she was one, but because that's how the calls felt. I spoke with Margaret again 3 weeks later. She had tried one thing, just one. Instead of calling every day, she waited 2 days, then 3. She told me it was one of the hardest things she'd ever done. It felt like I didn't care, she said, but I had to trust that she knew I was there. And when she did call, she didn't start with, "I haven't heard from you." She started with, "I was thinking about you. How are you feeling this week?" Her daughter called back within the hour. They talked for 40 minutes. At the end, her daughter said, "Mom, I miss you. Can we have dinner on Sunday?" Margaret told me she cried after she hung up, not from sadness, from relief, because she finally understood her daughter had never stopped loving her. She had just needed room to choose to show it. Margaret hadn't changed who she was. She'd changed how she reached, and that changed everything. Before you close this video, I want to give you one thing to do today.
Not tomorrow, today. Send your adult child a message, 3 sentences. Thinking of you today. No need to reply, just wanted you to know. That's it. No question, no guilt, no expectation. Just presence without pressure. It takes 30 seconds to send, and it plants something in your child's heart that no amount of daily calling ever could. The feeling that you see them without needing anything back. In the next video, video 2 of the Parent's Blueprint, I'm going to show you the exact words that create invisible walls between you and your adult child. 7 phrases. You've said all of them, and I'll show you what to say instead. If this video helped you, share it with one parent who needs it, and leave a comment below. Which of these 4 reasons felt most familiar to you? I'm Solon Voss. Take care of yourself, and take care of the people you love.
If you found this message helpful, please share this video on WhatsApp with a friend who might need these words today. Sometimes a small gesture can mend a big bridge. Let's spread a little more kindness and understanding together.
You know, there comes a moment in every parent's life when you look at your adult child and think, if only they would just listen. I know exactly what they should do. But here's the hard truth many parents never hear. Once your child becomes an adult, your advice can start to feel like criticism, even when you mean it with love. And ironically, the more we try to fix their struggles, the more distance we create. Today, I want to share something tender, something many parents quietly wrestle with. Why your adult children don't want you to fix them, and what they secretly need instead. And by the end of this video, you'll understand a shift so small yet so powerful that it can transform your relationship almost overnight. I'm Solon, and for over 20 years, I worked with families, parents in their 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, who were trying to build healthier, closer relationships with their grown children. I've seen what works, and I've seen what pushes kids away. And I want to share with you the lessons and real stories that have brought the most healing, the most trust, and the most connection. Let me begin with a story about a father named Ray, who was 72 when I met him. Ray was a fixer by nature, retired engineer, logical, practical. If there was a problem, he had a solution, usually within 30 seconds. His daughter, Emily, was 41 at the time, newly divorced, overwhelmed, trying to manage her kids, her job, her life. Every time she called him to vent about money, about the kids, about the stress, Ray jumped straight into problem-solving mode. Here's what you need to do. You should stop doing that. Why aren't you saving more? Well, that's your mistake right there. He didn't mean to sound harsh. For him, this was love. But one day, after he gave her yet another 10-minute lecture, she went quiet. Very quiet. "Dad," she said softly, "I'm not asking you to fix anything. I just want you to listen." He told me those words hit him like a punch to the chest. He said, "I thought I was helping. I thought I was being a good father. I didn't know my solutions were pushing her away." And then he said the sentence I will never forget. "I didn't realize she didn't need my answers anymore. She just needed me." That was the moment everything changed. Using Clay's formula, situation. Your child grows up, builds a life, faces challenges, sometimes big ones. As parents, you still see the little kid you once guided through everything: scraped knees, homework, heartbreaks. Desire. You want to protect them. You want their life to be easier than yours. And deep down, you want to feel useful, needed, valued. That desire comes from love. But here's where things get tangled. Adults don't want to be fixed, even by the people they love most. When you jump in with solutions, they may feel judged, dismissed, incapable, or like you don't trust them to handle their own life. It's not that they don't want you, it's that they want a different kind of support. And the change is surprisingly simple. Shift from fixing to supporting, from solving to listening, from instructing to understanding. This doesn't mean you stay silent forever. It just means you wait until your words are actually wanted and therefore welcomed. Result: when parents make this shift, 3 things happen. Adult children open up more, not less. Conversations become calmer, deeper, and more honest. And parents gain more influence, not through advice, but through presence. There's real science behind this. 1, adults need autonomy. According to research from the University of Rochester, adults thrive when they feel autonomy, the sense of being capable and in control of their own decisions. Unsolicited advice, even well-intentioned, threatens that autonomy. The brain interprets it as, "They don't think I can figure this out." 2, listening reduces stress hormones. A study from Harvard found that being heard activates the same reward centers in the brain as receiving money. Listening literally calms the nervous system. That's why your adult child often feels better after talking to you, unless the conversation turns into directions and corrections. And 3, emotional support strengthens bonds. The American Psychological Association notes that emotional validation, phrases like, "That sounds hard," or "I'm here for you," increases trust and reduces conflict significantly. Validation, not instruction, creates closeness. Here are 3 specific ways you can apply this with your adult children. 1. Replace "here's what you should do" with "do you want my advice or just a listening ear?" This one sentence alone can transform the entire dynamic. It gives them choice, it respects their adulthood, and it keeps you from crossing emotional boundaries. 2. Respond with empathy first, always. Try simple phrases like, "That sounds exhausting," or "I can see why you'd feel that way." "I'm glad you told me." These phrases land like a warm blanket instead of cold instructions. And 3, be their safe place, not their supervisor. Your adult child already has bosses, coworkers, bills, pressures, responsibilities. What they want from you is comfort, steadiness, understanding, not another source of judgment or critique. The son who stopped calling. A mother told me her 35-year-old son rarely called anymore. When he finally opened up, he said, "Mom, every time we talk, I feel like I'm being corrected." Once she shifted from fixing to listening, he began calling every week, sometimes twice. It wasn't advice he needed. It was acceptance. The daughter who said, "You don't trust me." One woman complained her daughter never shared personal struggles. But when she asked why, her daughter answered, "Because you always take over. Because you always tell me what I should have done. Because it feels like you think I'm failing." That mother cried. She had no idea. Today, she practices simply listening, and the relationship is warmer than it's been in decades. And the parent who became the safe haven. A father in his late 60s told me, "I used to think my job was to teach. Now I know my job is to love." His adult son, going through job loss and depression, said, "Dad, I don't need you to fix anything. Just be there." And he was. That emotional presence helped rebuild his son's confidence far more than any advice ever could. So here's the heart of today's message. Your adult children don't need you to fix their life. They need you to walk beside them in it. They need your warmth, your patience, your encouragement, your presence, and your belief in them. Not solutions, but connection. When you stop trying to fix everything, something beautiful happens. They start trusting you again. They start sharing again. They start coming closer, not pulling away. Because what heals relationships between parents and adult children isn't advice. It's love. Simple, steady, non-judgmental love. If this message touched you, please like this video, share it with another parent who might need it, and subscribe for more warm, thoughtful conversations every week. You're doing better than you think, and it's never too late to start a new chapter with the people you love.
There are words that sting, and then there are words that echo. If you're a parent over 60, you may know exactly what I mean. It's not always the angry words that hurt the most. Sometimes it's the quiet ones, the casual ones, the words your adult child says without realizing how deeply they land. Or worse, the words they don't say at all. Today, I want to talk about those unspoken words, the ones adult children say or imply that hurt parents more than they will ever know. Not to place blame, but to bring understanding and maybe a little healing. For many years, I've listened to parents reflect on their relationships with adult children, not in moments of conflict, but in moments of quiet honesty, in retirement communities, in counseling offices, in conversations that begin with, "I don't think they meant it, but it still hurt." Psychologists remind us that parents never stop being emotionally sensitive to their children, even when those children are grown. This story is drawn from that truth. Robert was 74 when he first noticed the silence. It wasn't sudden, it crept in slowly. His daughter still called, still visited on holidays, still smiled and hugged him at the door. But something was missing. One afternoon, while helping her pack up to leave, Robert said gently, "You can call any time, you know." She smiled, distracted, and replied, "I know, Dad, things are just busy right now." Busy. That word stayed with him long after her car pulled away. Let's slow Robert's story down. Situation. Robert had been a steady father. Not perfect, but present. Desire. He didn't need praise, he just wanted to feel included in his daughter's life. Conflict. Her words were polite but distant, kind but closed. Change. Over time, Robert began hearing meaning beneath the words. Result, and those unspoken messages hurt more than any argument ever had. The unspoken words. The first unspoken message Robert heard was, "You wouldn't understand." His daughter never said it outright, but she stopped sharing details. When Robert asked questions, she gave summaries, not stories. Psychologists call this emotional filtering, when adult children protect themselves by withholding depth. To Robert, it felt like being quietly dismissed. The second unspoken message was, "You're no longer essential." She didn't mean it cruelly, she simply didn't need advice anymore, didn't ask for help, didn't lean on him the way she once had. Research shows that parents often experience a loss of identity when adult children stop needing them, even when the relationship is healthy. Robert felt useful but not needed, and that hurt more than he expected. The third unspoken message was, "I don't want to disappoint you." When his daughter avoided certain topics, relationships, struggles, doubts, Robert assumed she didn't trust him. In truth, she was protecting him.
But silence often sounds like rejection to a parent's heart. The fourth unspoken message was, "You had your chance." This one hurt the most. It appeared in small comments. "You wouldn't do things that way now. Times were different back then." She wasn't accusing him. She was drawing a line between generations. But Robert heard finality, as if his role had quietly expired. The fifth unspoken message was, "I'm closer to others now." Robert noticed it during gatherings. Inside jokes he wasn't part of, stories he hadn't heard. He smiled, he stayed quiet, but inside he grieved something no one else could see. The sixth unspoken message was the hardest of all. "I don't need to explain myself to you anymore." Boundaries are healthy. Independence is necessary. But when explanation disappears completely, parents can feel shut out of their child's inner world. Robert didn't want control. He wanted connection. Research in family psychology helps explain this pain. According to studies on intergenerational relationships, adult children often reduce emotional sharing, not out of resentment, but out of self-protection. Meanwhile, parents interpret that reduction as emotional loss. Both experiences are valid. Neuroscience also shows that emotional bonds between parents and children remain active throughout life. The brain doesn't outgrow attachment. So when connection changes, parents don't just notice it, they feel it physically. This isn't weakness, it's biology. One evening, Robert sat alone with the realization that hurt wasn't helping him. So he tried something different. The next time his daughter visited, he didn't ask questions. He didn't hint. He didn't reach for reassurance. He simply said, "I want you to know I'm always here if you want to share. No expectations. No guilt. No pressure." Something shifted. Weeks later, she called unexpectedly. Not to report, not to update, just to talk. Robert learned something important. When parents release the need to be included, children often step closer on their own. If you're a parent watching this and feeling quietly hurt by your adult child's words or lack of them, please remember this. Distance doesn't always mean rejection. Silence doesn't always mean indifference. Adult children are often trying to survive their own lives, not push you out of them. And if you're an adult child watching this, know this too. Your parents may not say it, but your words and your silences still matter deeply. A simple call, a shared story, an honest sentence. These small bridges mean more than you realize. Families don't break most often from anger. They drift from misunderstanding. And understanding begins when we listen, not just to what is said, but to what is felt beneath it. If this story resonated with you, please like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more reflections on family, aging, and emotional truth. Because sometimes the words we never say carry the greatest weight of all. If you've ever looked at your adult child and thought, "Why don't they open up to me anymore? Why are our conversations so shallow?" You're not alone. Most emotional distance in families doesn't come from big fights or major betrayals. Instead, it often comes from small phrases spoken years ago that made a child learn to close their heart for protection. And today, I want to tell you a story about a mother and her grown son. A story that reveals the 3 phrases that quietly shut children down and how understanding them
can restore connection at any age. I'm Solon, and I've spent years talking with family counselors, adult children and parents in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who want to make sense of the emotional patterns in their families. And over, one truth keeps showing up. Love isn't lost. It just gets buried under words we didn't know could wound. Let me tell you about Ellen, a 74-year-old mother and her son Daniel, who's 45. Now, Ellen wasn't a harsh parent. She wasn't cruel or neglectful. She was simply raised in a generation where feelings were optional and survival was the priority. Growing up, she worked from age 12, took care of siblings, lived through economic hardship, and learned one rule: push your feelings down and keep moving. So by the time she had children of her own, she loved them deeply, but she didn't always speak in a way that made them feel safe opening up. For years, she wondered, why doesn't Daniel tell me anything personal? Why does he sound distant on the phone? Why does he share more with his wife than with me? And then one afternoon, during a quiet walk in a park, something happened that changed everything. She asked her son gently, "Why don't you open up to me more?" His response revealed the 3 phrases that had shut him down without her ever realizing it. And those are the same 3 phrases many adult children hear and carry into adulthood. Let's go deeper into their story, using the framework situation, desire, conflict, change, result. Number 1, situation. As a child, Daniel adored his mother. He followed her around, helped her bake, wrote her little notes. But as he grew, he stopped sharing his feelings, his stress, and eventually even his achievements. To Ellen, it felt like he outgrew her emotionally. To Daniel, it felt like he had to protect himself. They both wanted the same thing: connection, honesty, closeness. But they had different pathways to get there. Ellen believed closeness came from strength and guidance. Daniel believed closeness came from being heard without judgment. The real problem wasn't bad parenting. It was mismatched emotional language. There were 3 phrases Ellen said throughout his childhood, casually, even lovingly, that made Daniel silently close the doors of his heart. And when he explained them, Ellen didn't defend herself. She didn't argue. She listened. And listening became the first step in healing. Today, their relationship looks completely different. Not perfect, no family is, but warmer, more honest, more connected. Because once you understand the phrases that shut a child down, you also learn how to open them back up. And now, I want to share the 3 phrases that appeared in their story. Phrase number 1, "You're fine, stop crying." This was Ellen's go-to phrase. She didn't mean harm. To her, crying meant weakness. To Daniel, crying meant, "I need connection." According to research published by the American Psychological Association, children who have their emotions dismissed frequently develop emotional suppression, difficulty identifying their own feelings, and a tendency to withdraw rather than express. So when young Daniel heard, "You're fine," he learned, "My feelings are wrong, keep them inside." This pattern followed him into adulthood. When his wife asked how he felt, he shrugged. When work stressed him, he kept silent. And when his mother asked how he was, he gave the safest possible answer: "I'm fine." The same words she once used with him. The emotional doors closed quietly and stayed shut for years. Phrase number 2, "Don't be dramatic." This one was said whenever he expressed fear, anxiety, or disappointment. Once again, Ellen meant no harm. To her, she thought she was encouraging resilience. But here's the psychological truth. According to Dr. John Gottman's emotional coaching research, minimizing a child's emotional experience teaches them you won't be taken seriously, keep your inner world private. So when teenage Daniel wanted to talk about bullying at school, he didn't. When he was scared about college decisions, he handled it alone. And as an adult, he stayed emotionally self-contained. Not because he didn't trust his mother as a person, but because he had learned not to trust emotional vulnerability. When someone grows up being told, "Don't be dramatic," they internalize, "Don't be honest about your pain, it won't be received." Phrase number 3, "I know what's best for you." This is the phrase that hurt the most, not because it was cruel, but because it removed Daniel's voice. It sent the message, "Your instincts are wrong, listen to me instead." According to studies on autonomy from the University of Rochester's self-determination theory, children who aren't allowed to express their own preferences often become emotionally shut down, hesitant to share, avoidant of conflict, and fearful of disappointing their parents. So as an adult, Daniel rarely told his mother about his decisions, not his job changes, not his financial goals, not his dreams. He had learned early, sharing invites correction. Silence felt safer.
Here's what all 3 phrases have in common. They dismiss the child's emotional reality.
Research from the University of Washington shows that emotional invalidation can have long-term effects on adult relationships, including shutting down during conversations, avoiding emotional topics, and difficulty trusting others with feelings. 2, they create a survival mode communication pattern. When feelings are minimized, the brain shifts toward emotional self-protection. Harvard neuroscience studies show that children raised with emotional suppression become adults who prioritize peace over honesty, avoid conflict, hide emotional pain. And 3, they teach children to self-silence. This is the psychological term for holding emotions in so you don't burden others. And it often begins with phrases parents never realized were harmful. Now let's talk about how you can gently reopen emotional doors with your adult children. Because the goal is not to feel guilty. The goal is insight, compassion, and healing. Here's what Ellen did, and it changed everything. 1, she acknowledged the past without shame. She simply said, "Looking back, I realize I sometimes dismissed your feelings. Thank you for telling me." No excuses, no self-criticism, just truth. Psychologists call this reflective repair, and it's one of the strongest predictors of improved family connection. 2, she became curious instead of corrective. Instead of giving advice, she asked questions like, "How are you really feeling about that? What's been on your mind lately? What do you need from me right now? Listening or guidance?" This shifts communication from directive to collaborative. 3, she practiced the 3-second pause. Before responding to something emotional, she paused for 3 seconds. This small act prevents old patterns from taking over. During that pause, she reminded herself, "This is not the child I once guided. This is the adult I want to know." And 4, she replaced old habits with new healing phrases. Instead of "you're fine," she said, "Your feelings make sense to me." Instead of "don't be dramatic," she said, "Tell me more, I want to understand." Instead of "I know what's best for you," she said, "What do you feel is right?" Small changes, big healing. Most emotional distance in families doesn't come from a lack of love, it comes from a lack of emotional language. And the truth is, you cannot change the words you used 30 or 40 years ago, but you can absolutely change the words you use today. Your adult children may not open up right away. That's normal. Emotional doors that closed slowly often open slowly too. But every warm phrase, every moment of listening, every gentle acknowledgement is a hand extended across the years. And one day, you may hear something you never expected. Your child sharing something personal, something tender, something real. Not because you demanded closeness, but because you created safety. So remember these 3 harmful phrases. You're fine, don't be dramatic, and I know what's best for you. And remember the antidotes that heal. I'm here. Tell me what you're feeling. Your emotions matter. What do you think is right for you? Love is not measured by perfection. Love is measured by willingness. And it is never too late to speak in a way that invites your children back into your heart. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe so we can help more families find their way back to each other. Because emotional healing doesn't belong to the young. It belongs to anyone brave enough to begin.
Have you ever said something out of love, only to feel a sudden distance from your adult child? You weren't trying to hurt them, but the conversation ended, colder than it began. It's one of the quiet heartbreaks of aging. You give your whole heart, but somehow, it doesn't land the way you hoped. Today, I want to gently share 3 short phrases many parents say with good intentions that can quietly damage the bond with adult children, sometimes without us even realizing it. Let's take a deep breath together and walk through them with kindness, not guilt, because the truth is, we're all still learning. 1. I only want what's best for you. You probably said this in a moment of concern. Maybe your child made a big decision you didn't fully understand, quitting a job, marrying someone too soon, moving far away, and you said, I only want what's best for you. But to them, it might have sounded like, I don't trust your choices, or even, you're disappointing me. That's never what we mean, but intent and impact aren't always the same. A softer way to speak love is this: I trust you to choose what's right for your life, and I'm always here if you need me. It says, I see you as an adult. It says, I'm still your parent, but I don't need to steer anymore. It says, my love isn't conditional, and that kind of support, it stays with them, even in silence. 2, you never call me. Oh, this one is tender. We say it with a sigh or a half laugh, but behind it is something real: loneliness. We miss them. We want to be part of their world, like we used to be. But when we say, you never call me, what they might hear is, you're failing as a son, as a daughter. And shame doesn't bring people closer. It pushes them further away. So here's a gentle alternative. I love hearing your voice. It really brightens my day. Simple, warm, no guilt, just truth. You'd be surprised how often this one sentence invites them to call, not out of duty, but out of love. 3, when I was your age, we've lived through so much. We've endured wars, loss, sacrifice. We want to share the wisdom we've earned. But when we say, when I was your age, it can sound like comparison. And in today's world, where young people already feel overwhelmed, it might feel like we're minimizing their struggles. Let's shift the tone. Try instead, I remember facing something similar. Would you like to hear what helped me through it? That way,
It's an offering, not a lecture. It's a doorway, not a wall. And more often than not, they'll say, "Yes, tell me." Because stories connect generations more than advice ever could. Bonus phrase, you should. Any sentence that begins with "you should" can feel like pressure, even if it's good advice. Replace it with "have you thought about?" or "what are you leaning toward?" This invites conversation, not correction, and in that space, real connection grows. So what can we do? We can remember that adult children are still growing, and so are we. We can replace judgment with curiosity, replace correction with compassion, replace guilt with grace. And when we speak with patience, something beautiful happens. They start to open up. They start to call. They start to listen, not because they have to, but because they want to. Final thought. Even a few words can build or break trust, but it's never too late to choose new ones. So if any of these phrases have slipped into your conversations, it's okay. We all have growing edges, no matter our age. What matters is not perfection, but intention. So today, maybe reach out, send a gentle message. Say, "I'm thinking of you. I'm proud of who you've become. I'm here." And then leave space. Love doesn't rush, because often the softest words echo the loudest when spoken from a heart that's still learning how to love better and deeper every day. If this message spoke to your heart, consider subscribing. Each week, we share warm, thoughtful stories to help you feel more connected to yourself, to your loved ones, and to the life you're still beautifully living. And if you'd like more heartfelt guidance, don't miss our playlist, Daily Wisdom, Life Advice for Seniors. It's filled with gentle insights to lift your spirit one video at a time.
Welcome to Elderly Wisdom Mind. I'm Mary, and I'm so grateful you're here.
And I'm John. We're just two old friends. A cup of tea, a quiet fire, and a lifetime of lessons between us. Each week we talk about the kind of things people don't always say out loud. Love, loss, hope, and everything in between.
So, wherever you are, maybe taking a walk, maybe driving home, or just sitting in silence, take a deep breath and join us for a little time with your thoughts. You know, John, I read something last week that said, the older we get, the more we realize words can't be taken back. It hit me hard, especially as a parent.
Yes, words have long shadows, don't they? They stay, even when the moment's gone. And sometimes it's not the big things we say that hurt our grown kids. It's the small ones, the careless ones.
Exactly. So today, we're going to talk about 3 words every parent should be careful with, especially when your children are adults. Because those words, they can build walls you never meant to build.
Ah, yes, the familiar one. You should have called. You should have taken that job. You should have listened to me.
3 words that sound helpful, but carry judgment. They say, "I know better than you." But when our kids are grown, they don't need a teacher anymore. They need a listener. They need a home.
You're right. My son once told me, "Dad, I already know what I should have done. I just needed you to say it's okay." That one line changed me. It made me realize love isn't about giving directions. It's about giving permission to be human.
That's so powerful, because often love isn't about being right, it's about being safe. We can't rewrite their choices, but we can rewrite how we respond to them.
Oof. The second one, that hurts every time. I told you. It sounds like a victory, but it feels like rejection.
Right. The victory of the ego, not the heart. When we say, "I told you," what we really mean is you should have listened. But what they hear is, "You disappointed me."
And disappointment can echo louder than love. You know, my daughter once made a decision I didn't agree with. When it all fell apart, every part of me wanted to say, "I told you."
But you didn't, did you?
No. I said, "I know it hurts. I've been there too." And she cried. For the first time in a long time, she leaned on me, not away from me.
That's wisdom right there. Sometimes love means swallowing your "I told you so" and just saying, "Come here." Because that's what love sounds like after 60.
Ah, yes. The famous accusation. You never visit. You never call. You never think of us.
We say it because we miss them, but they hear it as blame. What we mean is, "I need you." What they hear is, "You're not enough."
Exactly. And guilt never builds closeness. It builds distance. Instead of, "You never call," try, "I'd love to hear your voice."
Yes. When you replace blame with longing, you show your heart, not your hurt.
Beautiful. Because at this stage of life, connection matters more than being right, and peace matters more than pride.
You know, John, parenting grown children is a strange kind of love story. It's learning to care without controlling, to guide without grabbing, to love without strings.
We used to hold their hands to keep them safe. Now, we hold our tongues to keep the relationship safe.
That's one of my favorite things you've ever said, because sometimes silence isn't distance, it's wisdom.
Exactly. We've learned that the loudest love is often the quietest one.
And in the end, the words we choose either open doors or close hearts. Choose them like they matter, because they do.
So if you remember anything from today, remember this. Say, "I'm proud of you." Say, "I'm here." Say, "I love you."
And leave out the rest, because one day you'll look back and you'll be grateful you chose love over being right.
Beautifully said.
And maybe that's the real secret to staying close to our children. Never stop choosing gentleness, even when it's hard.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
If this conversation touched your heart, share it. Send it to a friend, a parent, or even your own child.
And if you'd like to spend more evenings like this with us, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Mind wherever you listen.
Because every week we talk about what it really means to grow older and grow wiser.
Until next time, take care of yourself and the ones you love.
There is a kind of pain that feels especially confusing. It comes from someone you love deeply, someone you raised, someone you would still protect without hesitation. And yet, their words hurt you. Not loudly, not cruelly, just enough to stay with you long after the conversation ends. If you're a parent,